And welcome back to the Blue Collar Boxing Podcast. I am Luke from Biloxi. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and give me a follow on at Blue Collar Boxing on X. Abysmal stoppage. Abysmal. This is why we as boxing fans can't have nice things. We were in the middle of sort of a Twitter battle tonight. You could see people talking smack about the UFC card. I didn't watch it. I don't watch UFC, but people were making comparisons and saying this is why boxing is great, big win for the sport. And then our good old British friend from across the pond, Howard Foster, has to make his presence known in a very competitive fight. I believe one judge had Parker up 6 rounds, two others had it even. We could argue the merits of the scoring, but that's academic at this point because Howard Foster made sure that the hometown fighter got some home cooking and benefited from him being in the ring. Um, Watched the replay several times. Uh, Parker was constructively defending himself. Last few punches didn't even land. Didn't even land. And Foster stepped in. Ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous. There's no rule. I'm seeing on Twitter, especially from Wardley fans, that, well, Parker wasn't throwing back. There's nothing in the rules that says Parker has to throw back to avoid a stoppage. He was constructively defending himself. If that's the case, George Foreman never should have gone 12 rounds with Evander Holyfield or with Michael Moore. If that was the case, Marcos Maidana should have gotten a stoppage win on Floyd Mayweather. This is a ridiculous comparison because it's garbage. Of course, he shouldn't have gotten a stoppage win over Floyd Mayweather. But by the logic that Howard Foster uses, and those of you who support this stoppage are using, that's what should have happened. Uh, Tyson Fury should be 2-1 against Deontay Wilder with two knockout losses to Deontay Wilder using your logic, using the logic that you say means that this stoppage was righteous. That should be the trilogy outcome. 2-1 Wilder knockouts. I disagree with that. Clearly, I don't think those fights should have been stopped, and neither should have this one. This fight had major implications, as I covered in my previous video. Wardley is now the WBO interim champion. I fully expect that they will order him to fight, or order Alexander Usyk to defend against Wardley. It's going to do massive numbers. It'll sell out arenas. I hear a lot of wishful thinking as far as a rematch. There's not going to be a rematch. There's too much money in an Usyk fight for Wardley. Um, the British Board of Boxing Control isn't going to do anything. The WBO probably won't order it. And if you include this fight, you go back now 4 fights. You have Wilder, you have Zong, you have Bacoli, and you have Wardley. All four of those guys at the time that Joseph Parker fought them were in the top 10 rankings of Ring Magazine. The tremendous resume. Uh, it's this has to stop. Howard Foster should not be anywhere near a professional boxing match unless he buys a ticket. And even in that situation, I'm not certain he should be welcome. Again, we just have an atrocious stoppage that ruined an otherwise great fight. And it took, Wardley may have been a minute from a knockout. He may have been able to get to him in the 12th. Wardley may also have punched himself out. He was on the verge of doing that. He threw like 30 something punches in a row, and his punches were losing crispness. His punches were arm punches. And that Parker clearly had that as a strategy in that round. Let me get this guy to wear him out, and I'm going to knock him out. And he was robbed of that. Uh, you know, I understand protecting fighters' safety, but boxing, people get hurt. And if every time someone lands a three-punch combination, we stop fights, that changes boxing history over and over and over again. It's ridiculous. Um, both of these guys deserve better. The boxing public, the boxing fans deserve better. I 100% respect British boxing fans and British boxers. But this happens too much, and it either favors the British fighter or it favors the A-side British fighter. And while Parker was the interim champion, Fabio Wardley was the A-side. Okay, if that place, seats 50,000, 40 of them are there for Wardley. Um, I'm distraught. I don't like it, and it hurts the sport. It hurts the sport. And I don't want to make any kind of false accusations, but when you look at things that are happening in sports betting, when you look at things that have just come out in the NBA, when you look at uh, other scandals involving gambling and boxing in the past, I'm not saying that's what happened here. But what I am saying is that people are going to start asking questions, and they're going to start asking loud questions. And more importantly than that, people are going to stop watching because they doubt the integrity of the game. When a guy misses 4 times and then a ref decides to stop a fight because it's the 11th round and both guys are tired, people are going to ask questions. Let me know in the comments what a Wardley knockout was at that point. I'm guessing at least plus 700, maybe up to plus 1,000. Somebody got paid tonight, and they may have just gotten lucky, or it may be something deeper. And we need to have a serious conversation about where we're going as a sport if a fight that would determine the mandatory challenger, the undisputed heavyweight championship, gets stopped like this. Thank you guys for watching. Please let me know what you think. Give me a like and a follow, and follow me on at Blue Collar Boxing on X. Excuse the set. I'm on the road working, but I'll be back home soon and we'll do some more videos. Appreciate you all for watching. Take care.